Hello students, I am Neeraj sir. We are going to study science lesson number 5, that is acid, bases and salts part 3. In the previous two parts we have seen basic concepts of acids and bases, acidity and basicity, and also we have seen ionic compounds. So in this part we are going to see concentration of acid and bases, units for measuring concentration of acid and bases, and some calculations related to it. So this is very important and basic thing. Please watch the video completely so that you can understand the concept properly, and if you are not able to understand, then watch the video again and again. If still you are having any doubt, then you can call me or WhatsApp me your doubts, then I will solve your doubts, whatever doubts are there. So let's begin. Students, let us start our next topic, that is concentration of acid and base. So you might have heard concentration word in your day-to-day life many times. So you might have heard someone telling you your concentration is very less or your concentration is very good. So concentration is the ability to give your attention or focus in particular thing. In English language, this is the meaning of concentration. So, but in chemistry, the concept is little bit different. So that we are going to see. So in English dictionary, it is given like the ability to focus or give full attention to something. If anyone tells you your concentration is less, it means that your full focus is not there in that particular concept or that particular topic. And if teachers tell you your concentration is very good, it means that your full focus is going on in the studies or whatever work you are doing. So whenever we do any work, our concentration should be there in that work for successful completion of that work. But in chemistry, the concentration is little bit different. So let us see what is concentration of acid and base. Before understanding concentration, let us see one activity. Then we will understand that word concentration more clearly. So you have to cut a lemon in 2 equal parts and take the juice of each part in 2 separate beakers. Here you can see 2 separate beakers, A and beaker B. So if you are doing this activity at home, then you can use glasses instead of beaker. Then pour 10 ml of drinking water in 1 beaker and 20 ml in the second. You can see here 10 ml water in the first, 20 ml in the second. Don't get confused by the color of solution. This color is given wrong by mistake, but both the solutions will have same color, nearly same color. Okay. So in your textbook the color is given wrong by mistake. So you ignore that color, only understand the concept. Now then you have to stir the solution in both the beakers and taste them. So when you taste them, is there any difference in the taste of the solution in the 2 beakers? Yes, you will see a difference. The sour taste of the solution is because of the solute, that is lemon juice in them. The quantity of the lemon juice is same in both the solution, yet their taste is different. We have taken equal number of lemon juice, but only water is different in both the beakers. Here 10 ml water in A and here 20 ml water in B. It means that the solution A is concentrated and solution B is dilute. So why is it so the taste is different? Although the quantity of solute is same in both the solution, the quantity of solvent is different. If you take sugar, sugar is solute, water is solvent, and if you mix it, it will become solution. So if you take 1 glass water and dissolve 1 spoon of sugar in the first glass, and second glass same 1 glass water, but if you dissolve 3-4 spoons of sugar, so you can see the taste will be different, obviously, because amount of solute is more. Okay. So the ratio of quantity of solute to the quantity of resulting solution is different. This ratio is larger for the solution in the first beaker where water is less or solvent is less. Therefore the solution tastes more sour. On the other hand, the proportion of lemon juice in the total solution in the second beaker is smaller and the taste is less sour. So therefore you come to conclusion that the taste of the solution depends upon the amount of solute in the given solution. So the taste of foodstuff depends on nature of the taste giving ingredient and its proportion in the foodstuff. Similarly, all the properties of a solution depend on nature of the solute and solvent and also on the proportion of solute in the solution. The proportion of solute in a solution is called the concentration of solute in the solution. Means amount of solute in the solution is nothing but concentration of solution or concentration of solute in that solution. So in the first beaker, concentration is more because water is less. So amount of solute is equal but water is less. So as compared to the second one, water is more. So you can see concentration of A will be higher and concentration of B will be lower. Now, many times you have seen in lab, concentrated acids and dilute acids both are kept. So concentrated acid means what? Amount of acid in that solution is more and water is less. And dilute acid means what? Where acid is less but water is more, means solvent is more. So if the solute is more or concentration of solute is high, then it is concentrated solution. And when the concentration of solute is low, then it is dilute solution. Now let us see units for measurement of concentration of acid and base or any other liquid. So there are various units for measuring concentration of acid and base or concentration of any other substance. So we are going to see two of them, that is gram per liter and molarity. Mass of solute in grams dissolved in 1 liter of solution is nothing but unit of, you can say, measuring concentration, that is gram per liter simply. Second is molarity. Molarity is number of moles of solute dissolved in 1 liter of solution, and it is expressed like this. If you want to say that 1 molar NaCl solution is there, so here you can see NaCl is written in square bracket and 1 is written, okay, and NaCl in square bracket is equal to 1. It means that molarity of NaCl solution is 1 molar denoted by capital M, that is 1 molar here. Now let us see how, if you want to make 1 molar NaCl solution, so how will you make? If you want 1 molar NaCl solution, so what you have to do, you have to take 1 mole of NaCl according to definition. 1 mole of NaCl is nothing but weight in grams according to its molecular weight. So molecular weight of NaCl is 58.5 grams, so 58.5 gram. So molecular weight expressed in gram. Now 1 mole of NaCl dissolved in 1 liter of water, that is H2O. So if you want to make 1 molar NaCl, you have to take 1 mole of NaCl dissolved in 1 liter of water. And in the same way, if you want to make 2 molar NaCl, then 2 mole of NaCl in 1 liter of water. So as the molarity, as the number of moles increases, then molarity will also increases. So here you have, I hope you have understood this concept of molarity. So molarity is completely based on number of moles. So students, let us see this table. This table is given in your textbook page number 63. You have to complete this table. Now I will explain you how to complete this table. Then you have to solve this in your notebook also. So in this A to H, there are total 8 columns are given. So let us see. First column is nothing but name, and you can say then molecular formula, then molecular mass, then gram, then number of moles, gram, number of moles, and then liter, then grams per liter, then molarity of solution. So these all are the columns. Now let us see first compound. First compound is sodium chloride. So its molecular formula is NaCl. So up to this it is clear. Now molecular mass. Molecular mass is nothing but sum of atomic mass of the atoms present in a compound. So sodium atomic mass is what? 23, and chlorine is 35.5. So after adding this you will get 58.5, that is molecular mass of NaCl. So that we have already seen how to find molecular mass. Then gram. So this gram is already given in question. So this you don't have to calculate in this. So weight in grams can be given anything. It is not fixed value. Then how to calculate number of moles? So number of moles is nothing but weight in gram upon molecular mass, or weight in gram upon molecular weight. So here you can see weight in gram is 117 and molecular weight is 15.5. So you have to divide this column D to column C. So D divided by C. So here 117 divided by 58.5, you will get answer as 2 moles. Okay. So D divided by C. So you will get as 2 moles. So 2 mole is the answer. Then volume of solution in liters is given 2 liter. Means we have 2 liter NaCl solution. So we have volume as 2 liter. So here gram per liter means here you can say this is gram and this is liter. So gram per liter means what? D divided by F. You have to divide the quantity given in D to quantity given in F. Means 117, this 117 divided by 2. Because this is gram and this is liter. So when we divide we will get answer in gram per liter. So 117 divided by 2 we will get answer as 58.5 gram per liter. Now next is molarity, that is denoted by capital M. So here you can see molarity definition. We have seen number of moles of solute in 1 liter of solution, or moles per liter. So here you can see number of moles is what? 2. So you have to see E and F. Here you can see E means number of moles and here volume of solution in liter. So 2 moles are present in 2 liters. So how much moles will be there in 1 liter? Simply you have to divide E upon F, or you can say 2 mole divided by 2 liter. Then you will get molarity, that is 1 mole. Here you can see E divided by F, you will get the answer as 1 mole. So quantity of column E should be divided by quantity of column F. So we will get 1 molar. So in this way you have to complete. Now let us see second one. Second one I will orally tell you, then you have to solve. See here, sodium chloride is the first one. So here HCl is nothing but hydrogen chloride or hydrochloric acid. Then what is the mass of hydrochloric acid? See, mass of chlorine is 35.5 and mass of hydrogen is 1. So 35.5 plus 1, so you will get as 36.5. Okay. So this column answer will be, C column answer will be here 36.5. Now D, gram. Gram is already given 3.65. The number of moles of solute will be calculated by D upon C, means this 3.65 divided by this 36.5. Now here answer is 36.5. So here D upon C will be 3.65 divided by 36.5. So here you will get answer as 0.1 mole. Okay. Then if you get answer of this, then in the same way you can calculate the answer of others by using the formula. So by using all these things you can calculate the remaining things. So you solve this. If there is any doubt, then I will explain it again. Now I hope you have understood this topic, concentration of acid and base. So thanks students for watching video and have a nice day.